Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at headstands. Obviously they're quite tricky to practice safely at home because you don't have someone to support you or stop you from falling over. We're going to have a little look at building some strength and then have a little play around with building up towards headstands. We're not necessarily going to do headstands today, but just thinking about looking at strength. So I think a really common thing to do when we think about trying to do the more advanced poses is we get really excited about doing them, and then we just kind of jump into them. Literally, sometimes we jump, but also that we rush and we hurry. So I want to look at the idea of sort of slowing down and building a bit more strength before you actually try and lift your legs off the floor and balance. So that's our focus. So let's start sitting nice and comfortably, resting the hands onto the thighs, close your eyes and just take a couple of breaths. Taking your focus inside the body and just listening to what's going on with the body today. Drawing your weight into the back of the body, engaging your abdominals gently, opening across your chest, relaxing your shoulders, elbows. Keep letting the breath flow gently down to your belly. And really allow the abdomen to expand with each inhalation and retract with each exhalation. Keep slowing the breath down, overriding the nervous system, taking you out to fight or flight and into rest and repair. Trying to connect in with those areas of tension. And using the exhalation to soften. To consciously let go of those muscles that are holding day in and day out. Slowly let your head drop to the right, letting the neck really lengthen over to one side. Make sure that your shoulder doesn't reach up to your ear, let your shoulder still slide down. Still keep your eyes closed and your body, your focus inside your body. And just staying here a little longer, allowing a bit of time for the fascia to release, for the muscles to begin to soften. Relaxing your forehead and your jaw again as we stay here a little longer, noticing if maybe the left shoulder reaches forwards or up. Maybe you're pushing deep down into your pelvis, still feel like there's length rolling up through the center as you just work on lengthening through the side of the head, the neck and the chest. So one more breath, and then as you exhale, very slowly lift your head back and come up and over to the other side. Slowly again, still keep the eyes closed if that's comfortable. Drawing your belly to your spine, still feeling like you can lift all the way up through the spine. Opening your chest, squeezing your belly. Again, then take the focus a little deeper to the breath, away from the body. Using the exhalation to override the nervous system. To let go of that tension again and again. Shoulders releasing, jaw releasing, teeth, tongue, eyes, forehead. Now as you exhale again, slowly draw your head back to the center and open your eyes. And then this time just tuck your chin to your chest, making sure that you don't round into your spine just yet, just really drawing the chin down nice and tight. Squeeze your belly, still feeling like there's a length rolling up through your spine. And then inhale, lift your throat up to the ceiling again. Make sure those shoulders don't come with you. Slide them down away, looking up towards the ceiling. Keep your forehead soft. And then exhale, gently release. Clasp your fingers, bring your hands onto the back of your head. Inhale, open those elbows wide again. Make sure that the shoulders aren't hunching. Drop them down. Don't push them. Drop them, slide. Let them consciously soften. And then inhale again. Open those elbows. And then exhale, close the elbows, round the spine this time. So I want you to think about really sort of opening back and then rounding. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, rounding. Keep moving with the breath. Opening those elbows again. As you've got hold of the head, you can kind of pull the neck away. It's quite a nice release. Moving through the neck joint, so you're really lengthening around the shoulder girdle and the neck and the upper spine. And then exhale, slowly release. Reach your hands wide and stretch your hands away. So now I want you to think about a little bit of strength, warming up the shoulder girdle. Turn the palms down and just draw nice little circles with the wrists. So you're keeping engaging. You're engaging around the shoulder blades. You're opening across the chest. You're squeezing your belly. Keep rolling those circles. Keep breathing, keep the fingers engaged and keep relaxing your neck, your chest, your shoulders while we strengthen so there's no tension, and then start to roll those circles in the other direction. Keep reaching the arms away. Notice if one arm is sort of sliding a little further than the other. And then exhale, release, turn the palms back up. Inhale, reach the hands high, press the palms together. Exhale, slowly soften palms down to the ground. Inhale, lift up, lengthen, 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 press the palms together. Exhale, reach those hands back down to the floor. Inhale, squeeze, lift, lift, lift. Grab hold of your left wrist, lengthen over to the right, really making a little bit of space, making sure that you don't close the body. Keep reaching, reaching up. And exhale, release, come up and over to the other side, pressing down through your pelvis, really lengthening again, don't close the ribs, reach, reach them up towards the ceiling, and again, release, come back to the center. Bring your hands behind you, trying to reach the fingertips so the fingertips are, excuse me, the fingertips are coming forwards, and push down into your palms as much as you can. Again, I want you to think about the elbows reaching back. So if you have slightly longer arms than I do, then you might find that the elbows are bending, but you want them to not sort of roll forwards. You want the chest to open, the elbows to come in, so you're lengthening through the chest, pushing the forearms away. Again, we're just going to let the chin drop down, press into the floor, squeeze your belly. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, slowly release down. Keep moving, keep pressing into your hands and arms. And keep lifting and lengthening. Keep engaging through the whole torso. And then exhale, slowly release. Roll back onto your pelvis and bring your knees in towards your chest. Grab your hands underneath your thighs and keep engaging your core. So find your abdominals. We're going to work with core strength because we need a little bit of core strength for headstands, for allowing the legs to eventually lift. So, flex your feet, engage here. Imagine you're pushing against the wall and keep lifting, lifting, lifting. If this is enough, stay here. If you want to take it further, as always, release the hands away. So we're going to slowly now drop the feet down towards the floor, and I want you to lift the right leg up as much as you can, and release. Lift the left leg, and keep moving. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale up, and release. Make sure you're breathing, always moving with the breath. When we tend to use the abdominals, we tend to stop breathing. So keep lengthening, keep lifting, keep squeezing. Keep moving, the body's going to start to get a little warmer, maybe a little tired. Keep moving. If you feel like you can work a little harder, we're going to lift both legs. You decide where your limit is. Keep engaging through your core. Try not lean too far back. Keep lifting. 2 more times, whether you're, I'm falling, if you're doing one leg or both legs. And then gently release. Press those feet down to the ground. Grab your thighs and squeeze into a tight ball, really rounding the spine. Inhale, lift your head, look forwards, open across the chest. And again, this time either grab hold of your shins, or if you can, grab hold of your feet. So you're pulling into the spine. You decide feet or shins, or maybe even calves if that's too far. And then start engaging your core a little more. So from here, keep lifting, keep squeezing really tight so your legs are really pushing into your core. Now find those abdominals. On the inhalation, squeeze. On the exhalation, release. Inhale, squeeze, and release. Squeeze and release. Keep working, keep engaging those arms, keep opening the chest, keep lifting the spine. Make sure there's no rounding into the upper back. Keep lifting, 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 lifting. One more breath, wherever you are. Try from here. Release the hands and lift the arms up. And reach the arms up and let the legs drop down. Lifting nice and high. Clasp the fingers and reach the arms up. Squeeze your belly. And then exhale, gently soften. Bring your hands behind you again. Press into your palms, open across your chest. Point your toes away. And we're going to inhale. Lift the pelvis up a little and then drop down. Keep working with this. If you feel you can get further, we're going to slowly lift up higher and higher. Lengthen. Engaging, pressing down through your arms, squeezing through your belly. Take one more breath. If you can work all the way up, we're going to hold here, whichever position you're in. Keep pushing, keep lifting, keep squeezing. Open your throat. Take 3 breaths. Press into your toes, your heels. Lift those hips a little higher. Squeeze your abdominals. One more breath. And exhale. exhale, slowly release. Crossing your legs, releasing and lifting. Closing your eyes, breathing here, softening, thinking about all that strength we need through the torso, through the core, the chest, the shoulders. One more breath. As you exhale, slowly release. Roll round onto all fours. Spreading your fingers, pushing the floor away. Squeeze your belly towards your spine. I'm going to tie this because this is going to get in the way. So keep pressing into your hands, keep engaging your abdominals, open across your chest. And now from here, flex your toes. Inhale, lift up to downward dog and pull the hips diagonally behind you. As always, just take a little bit of time to lengthen through the spine, through the whole body. Keep engaging your core, keep pushing the floor away, keep lengthening. And then on your next exhalation, stay here. Try and push both heels down. I want you to drop your right elbow down to the floor. And then your left elbow. Right elbow straighten and then left. Right elbow down. Left elbow down. Right elbow up. Left elbow up. One more time. Right elbow. Left elbow. Right straighten. Left straighten. Now swapping to the other side, just take a little rest. If you need to rest in child's pose, do. If not, stay in downward dog. Lengthen, give the head a shake. Breathe here. Going in reverse. Left arm down. And right arm down. Breathe. Left arm straighten. Right arm straighten. Left arm down. Right elbow down. Left arm. Right arm. Last time. Squeeze your belly. Lift your hips. Push into the floor. Elbows down. Left arm up. Right arm up, head hanging, and exhale, release, breathe, take a little rest, push your hips down to the floor, breathing gently here, closing your eyes, let the whole body hang. Really want you to think about allowing the space to soften. Around the neck and the shoulders. Take one more breath, and then from here, slowly reach your arms out in front, rounding your spine, squeezing your belly, pressing into your hands, and then roll the pelvis down and drop down into a low cobra. Elbows coming in, push into the floor, squeeze your belly, round your spine and pull your hips back. So there's no, when you're coming back, you're not sort of arching up and then pushing the hips up. So there's no tension in the lower spine. You have to pull the abdominals back. So there's a drawstring coming through your spine, pull, 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 and back. So there's no arching here, okay? So you're going to round, then there'll be a pelvis drop, and there'll be an arch in the lower spine, and then pull your pelvis back, reach your belly back, and soften. Keep moving through this, rolling through the spine. The important thing again, you can lift high if you want, or stay low if that's easier. That you're moving and rolling through the pelvis, you're engaging your abdominals, and you're using your hands to keep that length and strength in the front of the body. Starting to build a bit more focus and length, and of course strength. In through your core, in through your upper body, and your arms. Keep pressing the fingers away. The more we use the fingers, what we tend to do is clasp them and make them sort of grip into the middle. Keep pushing down to the floor. Keep using your whole body, even as we focus on the core and the arms. One more breath. One last round. And again, exhale, slowly release. Release the hands behind you. Give the wrists and fingers a little shake. And breathing here. And exhale, slowly soften, roll back up onto all fours. So you've got two options here. We're going to press into the floor. You can either keep your knees on the ground, or we're going to go into plank. You decide. So either in plank or knees down. From here, we're going to work a little harder. So you decide, knees down or knees up. Lift your right leg up and draw your right knee towards your right elbow. Keep those toes lifting, don't let them slide down. Push back and in. Push back, keep moving. Squeeze and make sure you lengthen back. Squeeze, keep pushing through the floor, keep lifting so there's no hunching in the shoulders. You're feeling light, although possibly quite heavy in this position. When you're first starting it, it feels a little like torture. Two more times, breathe. And release. Take a little rest. Give your fingers and wrists a little wriggle. Lay your hands rest onto your thighs, close your eyes, soften here. Notice if there might be some tension building in the front of the chest or the spine or the upper shoulders. Exhale, soften. And we'll go to the other side. So again, reach your hands forwards. Either do this with the knees down again, or lift up into plank. Lift your left leg and pull your knee in as high as you can. Keep lengthening and moving. Keep breathing, squeezing through the whole of your core and lengthening. Make sure you're breathing as you move the leg, as you engage those core muscles, as you lift the spine and the shoulders 2 more times. Last time, push the fingers down to the floor and release. Knees down, rest back onto your heels. And again, give the wrists and fingers a little wriggle. Close your eyes, palms facing up, shoulders releasing, opening through the chest. Couple more breaths. Again, really allow those muscles to switch off. It's really important to learn how to switch them on, but also how to learn to stop them overworking. Relax your forehead, your neck, your shoulders, arms, wrists, your spine, chest, belly, torso, pelvis, legs, softening. On your next exhalation, slowly reach forwards. And again, this time we're going to come down onto our forearms. So, pressing your elbows down to the ground, what I want you to do is measure, so make sure that your hands don't come any wider than the distance of your elbows. So measure the distance and then move your hands out. Because what tends to happen is we slide out and then we've got no support. So, measure your hands, measure your elbows, push the floor away, and then bring your hands down onto the floor. Again, another thing, depending on how open your chest and shoulders are, it might not be so comfortable to have the hands out in front. If that feels really strange for your shoulders and chest, then clasp your fingers and just press into the outer edge of your forearms. You decide whether it's that one or that one. Totally up to you. Just while you're getting comfortable and focusing on building strength. So again, what tends to happen is we dip into the lower spine. I want you to think about the hips pulling up and up. So really where the pelvis meets the lower spine, you're squeezing your belly. This belly is pushing to the spine is lifting up, up, up towards the ceiling. Spread your fingers or clasp your fingers and push the floor away. So just start with this initial position. Then begin to flex the toes and bring action in through the inner thighs, the pelvic floor and the abdominals. Stay here for 3 breaths. So again, just notice if you're dropping down or you're sort of really close to the floor, your pelvis is kind of out of alignment. Keep pushing, keep lifting. Imagine you're doing a cobra and you're pushing the floor away and starting to sort of pull the pelvis back. Flex your toes. And again, if this is enough, stay here. This might be enough. This might be your limit to start to prep for headstand. If you want to take further, we're going to push the hips back. We're going to start to lengthen through the underarms. And then we're going to pull up and we're going to come forwards, bringing the chin towards the floor. Exhale, push, lift, 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 and come back. So you're lengthening as you pull back, you're strengthening as you come forwards. Keep pushing. So as you come forwards, make sure the shoulders don't come with you. You're keeping that length, you're opening and moving. Squeeze your belly, keep your head, not your head long, I always say this, your neck long. You can't lengthen your head. Squeeze your belly. Make sure again that there's no dipping in the spine. You're not sort of dropping the chest forwards and backwards. There's strength in through your core. And then let's take a little rest. Give the hands a rest and release through the spine in child's pose. Take 3 breaths here. One more breath. Let the head roll from right to left, releasing through the neck. And then exhale, come back to that same position. Press into your forearms, either clasp the fingers or press into your hands. Make sure you're pushing the floor away, you're rolling the tailbone, so you're scooping your belly strong. Open across the chest, stay here. If this is enough, keep with this. If you can go a little further, we're going to reach the right leg back and then the left. So make sure your pelvis isn't too high. We're going to drop down towards a dolphin plank. So squeeze. Open across your chest, keep lifting, keep lengthening. Again, try not drop everything down. Keep lifting. Open across the front of your body and stay here for 2 more breaths. Push those heels, engage and squeeze your inner thighs. Looking forwards, push the floor away. 1 more breath. Breathe. and release. Knees down, bring those knees a little closer, and then slowly soften. Lift the torso up, open across the chest. Clasp the fingers behind you, reach the hands as far back as you can, and then roll forwards, dropping the head down, reaching the arms up and over your head. Just releasing around the shoulder blades, squeeze those shoulder blades together and open across the chest. Let your arms drop to the left, come to the center, and then let your arms drop to the right, and again come back to the center. Exhale, slowly release, come all the way back up. And give everything a shake. Releasing here, take a couple more breaths. So now we're going to build a little bit more strength in and around the shoulder muscles. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this triangle position that we're going to use for the headstand. But again, we're not going into headstand just yet. I want you to think about, so you measure the elbow distance and clasp the fingers. So from here then you're going to push the floor away. You're going to first get used to that position. So from here, we're going to push into the floor, we're going to lift the hips up, and we're going to drop the head down to the ground. So again, you're bringing the head down, and you're bringing the heels and the hips forwards. So from here, then what I'm going to think about doing is the hips are going to lift up. You've got two options. Again, the softer option is going to be to keep the hips down. The stronger option is to lift up onto your onto your toes, and walk the toes a little closer. Be careful with this one because, again, this is going into the stronger position. So if all of the weight is on your head, that means you're not using your hands enough. So keep pushing the floor away, and maybe don't do this pose just yet. Come back to it in a little bit. So if you're feeling too much pressure on your head, use your arms more and push the arms. So you're really feeling like the elbows are pushing, you're lengthening, and pulling almost the head away. So take a couple more breaths here. You decide. So you can just have the hips down, but think about this idea of lifting the hips up. So imagine you're going to try and lift up, and that will automatically bring the head off the floor a little bit. Just this action of pulling the hips will help bring that length in. So again, I'll see if I can show you from this position. So your hands will be in front, and you're going to push the floor away, and you're lifting up. So you're feeling this length from here. In fact, let's all do this without the knees down. So we're going to push into the forearms and then lift the head up. So you're not actually moving the head forwards and backwards. The head stays down, and you're pushing and lifting. This action of pulling up, you'll find that there's a slight movement and you're engaging through your shoulders, but without hugging. So you're keeping on engaging. There's a very small movement. If I'm not making any sense, I'm very sorry. But it's literally just a very subtle movement. The main strength comes in the action of using your muscle. Your head will maybe lift off just a tiny bit. Don't move your head forwards and backwards. Just feel like there's a slight lightness in your head as you push and lengthen. So let's do that a couple more times. Push and lengthen. Pull the hips up. Push into the forearms. Again, I'll try and show you this. So my head is moving ever so slightly. I have no idea if you can see this. Moving gently. So you're just engaging through the shoulder muscles. And then let's take a rest. Come all the way back up. Open across the chest. Softening here. And give the shoulders a little wriggle. And now again, we're going to go into dolphin pose before we then revisit coming back into the preparation for headstand. So press your forearms down. Again, you decide if you have the hands flat or the fingers clasped. Press into your feet, flex your toes and stay here. If you can take it further, we're going to lift the knees off and reach the hips high. Imagine you're doing a downward dog like we just started, but with the elbows down. So make sure you're not dropping down, you're lifting. You're keeping your core strong. If you can take it further, start to bring the toes a little further forward. So you're really lifting, you're pulling your hips diagonally behind you, you're looking forwards ever so slightly towards your fingers, so you're not dropping down, you're lengthening, you're squeezing. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath, pull those hips a little higher. Relax your neck and soften. Release the knees down, slowly round the spine all the way back up. And take a couple more breaths, softening here. Release your neck, maybe let's move the neck round in gentle circles. And then exhale, slowly soften, looking forwards. We're going to repeat that and take it up a little notch. So, press into your elbows, into your forearms, or clasp your fingers. Come up into the same position. So, flex your toes and lift your hips up. This might be enough. Stay here. If you can take it further, walk the tiptoes a little further. And then reach the right leg up towards the ceiling. One more breath. Keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg up, lift, 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 lift as high as you can. Squeeze through the belly, push into the floor. And exhale, release. One more breath. And exhale, soften. Give the wrists a little rest. Give the shoulders a little shake. Palms resting onto your thighs. Exhale, slowly release. Exhale, open your eyes. And again, we're going to come back onto the forearms. So, press into your forearms, this time with the fingers clasping. Pull the knees underneath your hips and push the floor away. So you're creating this, this position with your fingers which acts sort of like a gate. So your head can't go any further forwards. Keep pressing down into your forearms and then let your head drop down to the floor. So this might be enough. Again, you're just going to work with this idea of pushing the forearms and then lifting. So you're really pulling up and dropping down. You have to engage through your core nice and strongly. If you want to take it further, we're then going to get used to the idea of the weight being in the hands, in the forearms, not in the head. We're going to lift the hips up. So again, my head is not touching, but I'm going to keep it down because that's what we're working with. So push the forearms away. So you're lengthening through the shoulders and the neck. Keep the head in one position and then try and walk those tiptoes forward. So the tendency is now to try and sort of jump up and kick the legs. So just think about walking those toes, walking those toes. Look how much the hips, what we tend to do is think we're upside down and the hips are there and then we kind of lift up. So we've got nowhere to go. We have to pull the hips in line with the spine. Keep opening the chest. Don't let this sort of hunching motion come into the spine. Keep pushing away and opening the chest. It's quite hard. Once you've got that, then we can start to build up. So keep thinking about the space, the openness around your chest. You're lifting your hips. You're feeling really light here. The tiptoes are coming closer, closer, closer. And then exhale, release. Take a little rest. So again, we're just trying to not jump into the position. Going up with length and strength and finesse, not sort of jumping and hoping we just land. So keep engaging through your core. Keep breathing. Keep thinking about this idea of lifting up. We're going to do this one more time and then that's the end of the session. So breathing here, not thinking about jumping. Thinking about how you can make this pose feel light. So pull forwards. Down onto your elbows, clasp your fingers, push the floor away, and again think about this idea of not hunching into your neck. Keep that space. Drop your head down, and again then think about pushing the floor away, tucking down into your chin, breathing here, bring the knees a little closer, and maybe just start again with that push and this idea of pulling the hips away so you're lengthening through the neck and the shoulders. If you want to take it further, lift the hips, walk those toes a little closer. Really think about the hips having to come in line with your pelvis. So if you're feeling unsafe here, like you want to go a bit further but it's a bit scary, you can do this with the wall behind you. So when you have the wall behind you, again, you can't go any further. So you keep lifting, and if you come up, then you're going to, so I've got the wall here. I'm not going to lift my legs, but I'm just thinking, if I feel like I'm going to go forwards, I'm not, because I've got the wall there. So you can press the spine against the wall and kind of get used to that position. If you want to take it further, we can try with lifting one leg and squeezing the thighs, and then release. And then repeat with the other leg, squeeze, pull up, pull up, pull up, and release. Eventually you'll work with bringing both legs, she says, can't do that talking at the moment. Eventually we're going to be working with bringing the knees and the toes up. But just get used to, it's better to do it away from the wall. So if you can, get used to where your trust is with the hips in line with your head. Pull, 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 pull. And then again, play around with this idea of lifting one leg and then lifting the other. So you're really pulling up, 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 up. And then eventually the other leg just pulls up nice and easily. But we're going to rest there. Slowly roll all the way up. And not jump into any of the poses. So, gently release, take your legs out in front of you. Slowly roll round onto your spine, releasing the head down to the floor. Press your feet down into the mat and let your hands rest heavy. Close your eyes. Moving really gently here, obviously we've had the head upside down, so all the blood is probably gone there. So we'll take a couple of breaths to move very gently back down to the ground. Slow your breath. Close your eyes and let the weight of your body drop to the floor as you soften and release. Breathing gently. And I'll leave you here to lie here and relax as much as you like. Thank you very much.